everybody, this is Terrence from Mingle Thoughts. One of the many things that we discuss on this channel is the camper van that we built ourselves. And when we began this journey, one of the things that was on our mind was, were we going to run out of power? However, following just a few simple tips, this has become a non-issue as we are rarely under 80% of our battery's capacity. If you want to know some of the things that you can do to maximize your batteries, keep on watching. One of the number one bits of advice that I can give to you is to avoid these plugs at all costs. I know what a lot of you are thinking. This looks like an ordinary house plug. What could be wrong with it? The problem is that your house runs on alternating current, while your van or RV runs on direct current supplied by your batteries. In order to run something with this type of plug, you have to have an inverter of some sort, and there are two main problems with inverters: parasitic draw and efficiency. Just having our inverter powered on doing absolutely nothing uses about 30 to 35 watts of power. While 35 watts may not seem like very much, it really adds up over time. If you leave the inverter running all day, that ends up being 840 watts of power. Since most RV lithium batteries have about 1200 watt hours of power, just leaving the inverter on, powering nothing, eats up to 70% of a typical lithium battery. Even if you're only going to turn on your inverter when you use it, this still isn't very efficient. And of course, this assumes that you remember to turn the inverter off when you're done, which if I'm honest, I don't always remember to do. This isn't very efficient because of these. Most of you are using these to plug in your laptops. The problem with this is that it takes the DC power from the batteries, converts it to the AC power from the inverter and that these types of things use, and then back to the DC power that your laptop requires. Each jump is only 80 to 90% efficient. That means that at best you're getting 60 to 70% of the power that you put in. While that doesn't seem too bad, it really adds up over time. So what can you do about it? There are three things I would consider. First, you should try to buy all DC powered electronics. Second, you should realize that USB is your friend. And third is to try to convert those natively DC powered products into DC. The first and easiest thing to do is to buy DC powered products right from the start. Most will come with one of these familiar looking lighter sockets. The easiest way to do this is that when you're looking for items, just add 12 volt or 24 volt to your search. The travel electronics category is actually quite large, so you're likely to find a lot of things that will fit your needs. The selection won't be as wide as when you buy AC powered products, and they will be a little bit more expensive, but the efficiency and convenience tend to be worth it. The next bit of advice I have for you is just to buy USB powered devices and along with that, USB powered sockets. Don't use the USB charging bricks that come with your device. They suffer from the exact same issues as your laptop chargers. Instead, get a socket like this that will plug directly into your power. No conversion required. Anything you plug into this will benefit from the direct DC charging. This is actually a 2-for-1 tip. Many current laptops will actually charge from their USB-C port. However, not all USB-C is created the same. Any wire that has one of these types of connectors known as a USB-A on either end maxes out at 7.5 watts. Most laptops need about 50 watts of power to charge correctly. This is also why you never see fast charging with those types of plugs on your phone. If you want to fast charge your phone or power your laptop, you need a USB charger that supports PD. Here's the one we use. We went through a lot of different models for reasons I don't want to get into. So if you want to save yourself the hassle, we'll link down below on the one we settled on. The last tip is a little bit more involved but not overly complicated, but it's also the one that most people don't think about using. You can convert a lot of the devices that plug into your wall into things that will plug directly into your batteries. Anything that has a boxy external power supply like this can likely be converted to go directly off your batteries, and it really isn't that hard. There are two possible solutions here. The easiest one is to find devices that use the same native voltage as your system. For example, we have this heated blanket. It is native 24 volts. You can double check this by cutting the wire to the external power supply, connecting a voltmeter, and reading the voltage that comes out of the power supply. Then you just need to connect the device to the power supply. Probably the best way to do this is to connect it to the aforementioned and standard cigarette lighter plug, and then connect that to the various female plugs that you can have at various locations in the van. A slightly more complicated situation arises when you have a device that doesn't match the voltage of your vehicle. This is likely going to be the case for devices such as monitors and laptops, which typically run at 20 volts, and nobody's going to have a 20 volt system in their vehicle. In order to do this, you need either a buck or a boost converter that will transform one voltage into another. If you're going to do this on several devices, it may be worth it to just buy a converter like this one, we'll put a link below, and hook up to a fuse block like this. That way you can hook up multiple devices. This is what we had to do since we have a 24 volt system and we wanted to be able to run 12 volt devices. If you do this, one good idea is just to keep a spare around. They're not that expensive, and when you need one, you really need one. We run all our lights off of 12 volt and we didn't want to be in the dark. For a one-off solution or something more versatile and portable, we went something like this. This is the same principle as the other one, but it lets us dial in the voltage we want to use. This is perfect for the previously mentioned 20 volt issue. To use this, all you need to do is hook up the input side of this to the previously mentioned cigarette plug, and then you can put your output to whatever plug type you need. If you want to keep it very versatile, it might be worthwhile to just use one of these Wago connectors, which easily allows you to swap things in or out however many times you want. Like a lot of things in van and RV life, things just kind of depend on the situation. Your ability to implement a lot of things I just discussed will depend on your time, your budget, and your current build. At the very least, I hope you found it informative and entertaining, and if you did, please leave me a comment below. Now, I know I talked about a lot of these things at a very high level. If you'd like me to get into more detail on exactly how things work, just let me know. I'd be happy to do it. I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.